Okay, welcome guys. This is episode 73 of ChatTactic. So welcome if you're sort of here live, and also welcome if you're watching the recording. So hi William, and hi to anybody else that's joined us as well. Right, well, there's a lot to cover. There's a lot of things that actually have been announced this week, actually. Different sorts of things with some of the old favourite games. And hi Quiet Sprints, how you going? So we'll sort of, I'll just move sort of slowly into all the different bits and pieces. We don't have to sort of rush anything. Hi Botnik, and hi to anybody else again that has actually joined us with the and Mr. Fleagle's maths class. There we go. So with the actual games that have been sort of announced, so I don't actually have any giveaways today. So we'll still try to do we should be able to definitely do a marble run at the back end, but it won't be for anything actually at all. So hi Chond. So welcome as everyone does start to come in. I wanted to sort of start off with, I guess, the biggest things that are coming this week, which I think Galciv 4 Supernova, with the release coming in just a couple of days' time. So that's actually coming very, very soon. I think that's coming on Thursday for most people. I think that's how it works. Hi, Viren Games. So let's just have a quick look at that. And there is actually just a new dev journal which has just come into the actual game itself. And so, sorry, to come into the news area of Galactic Civilization. So I just wanted to sort of start off by going through this, because I found this one, I only glanced at it. I was going to say I found it's really quite interesting, but I only glanced at it, so I don't really know exactly what's in this, but it looks interesting. It's got a graph, or a graph of types. It's got a table. I love tables. William's saying playing Galciv 3 since I cannot get 4 stable. Oh, okay, that's no good. Ryan is then saying hey there, so hi back Ryan. So anyway, this is actually a dev journal, probably the last one before launch, I would guess. So it's more a new change in Galciv 4 Supernova than all the changes coming from Galciv 2 through to Galciv 4, the base game combined. So just to confirm what's being said there, Supernova really probably could have been a Galciv 5, to be honest. It's like a Galciv 4.5, but it's as you know, as Brad actually sort of says in through here, that it's actually got even more than what the release of Galciv 4 had, and it really is exceptional. I'm really sort of enjoying it. Mr. Fiegel's Maths class is saying, is Galciv 4 a big change from the previous ones? It seems like another Dominions type game where each iteration is very similar to the last. It is big, I've got to say, very, very big. So we'll go through each of these steps through here and just talk about them. So it looks like you're covering that right now. Yes, we are. We're going to be going through it. So this has actually just been put into the news, just released. Basically, this is tomorrow for the rest of you guys, but this is today for me, on Tuesday, October the 17th. So I think that you're all on Monday, but I'm on Tuesday. So this is actually what's going to come tomorrow. So there's a lot of things you can sort of see through here. So this is actually stuff where we got the different, like Galciv 1. I'm going to ignore Galciv 1 to a degree. This wasn't even released on PC. So Galciv 2, 3, 4, and then Galciv 4 Supernova. This is a bit confusing. I do want to sort of just address this. Galciv 4 was released on Epic for 1 year exclusive. And so basically, while they had the exclusive and they get money in from that one, they then started developing Galciv 4 Supernova for the Steam release. Now, Galciv 4, when it did release on Epic, I didn't play it much. I didn't love it, and I didn't warm to it. But Galciv 4 Supernova has had so many changes above Galciv 4. That's why it's not really it's a different game. It's a very, very different game than Galciv 4. But let's just go through it and have a bit of a look and see what they're actually sort of addressing, or what they do actually have. And we'll just talk about each one of these. Hi, Flackhawk, how are you going? So we've got Starbases, Claim Territory, and Boost Planets. Yeah, all the games had that one. Survey ships to investigate stellar anomalies. Yep, they all had that one as well. Precursor relics to mine for Civ bonuses. Yep, they've all got that. And ethical and story-driven events. Again, they all had that as well. I'm finding that the writing in Galciv 4, I'll just call it Galciv 4, but Galciv 4, the writing is not as verbose as it used to be. It used to be a bit confusing, but I actually find it quite good now in the game. Again, I'm going to ignore the Galciv 1 options in through here. Really from 2 onwards is where we're sort of interested. So players and alien civilization, yep, no worries. Again, freeform ship design. This was one of the features when Galciv 2 did come out, actually. That was actually the big selling point of Galciv 2 was the actual ship designer. I know it took an awful lot of effort to actually get that to work, but it's been like the backbone of the series to a large degree. Hi Larry, how are you going? By the way, guys, Larry is putting up I'm pretty sure you're putting up a new Distant Worlds series. So shout out to Larry and his Distant Worlds series out through there. So look out for that one. Now the strategic zoom in through this other side. Again, strategic zoom was something that Stardock did a lot of work on. I think the first time I saw an actual like a cloth map aspect was actually when they were building Elemental. Like that was a feature that was brought into Elemental. I don't know if or how other people had actually implemented that one before Elemental actually started to work on it, but that was so the strategic zoom was something that Stardock have used a lot, and they do it very, very well. Okay, planetary artifacts to use as powers. Now this is, I'm not exactly sure what that means, to be honest, but it came in Galciv 3. Planetary artifacts use it as powers. I don't know what the powers actually are. Multiplayer, that came in Galciv 3. Lore-based events. Now, they're bringing a lot of the stuff that was in Galciv 2 that people liked will now come back into Galciv 4 Supernova. And so this is one of those. And ship classes as well. This is actually really quite interesting. I really like this aspect of the game. They've brought the ship classes back in where you don't have carte blanche with your design, your basic designs now of the ships, where you can sort of build anything that you like. You now have to sort of work within the actual classes, and I like these sort of limitations. I always like these with any sort of game. Hi Admiral, how are you going? So God, I played Galciv 2 to death, and I've been watching it, and there we go. So back Larry's, and Larry's just saying thanks and hello to everyone. So yeah, with the ship classes, I find that games that do this always cop flack from players about the limitations that are then introduced into what they do. Distant Worlds is a similar sort of game where people don't like the ship designer, or they say they don't like the ship designer, but I find that these limitations give much more balance to the game in a good way. I don't like balance for the sake of just balancing, but in this case, it puts limitations on, and you have to then think through those limitations. And also with the ship classes, it then is impacting the way that combat will now work as well because of the ship classes. Like the different ship classes will attack other types of ship classes, so it works very, very well. Hi, Battle Mode, how are you going? Now we've got the ideology and culture trees back in through here. So this one wasn't part of Galciv 2, but did come in Galciv 3. That has been expanded exponentially. Like it's sort of funny just having like the little crosses in through here. It's saying it's all the same thing. It's actually really not. The Galciv 4 Supernova ideologies is just next level, like next level stuff. It would be cool if they actually, like what they did here with the civilizations, if they did actually, how many different aspects of this there actually were included, because there's a lot that's actually now been put into Galciv 4 Supernova, so much more than what there was in Galciv 3 from what I can remember anyway. Pirate hives and space monsters, they all had that one. Again, these are interesting, the way that they sort of work. There was actually something that I did, I don't know if you've been watching my series, but if you haven't been watching my series, I had a situation where I had a colony ship on its way out to an outer planet, and on the way it bumped into a whole lot of pirates. And I thought, oh, that's the end of that particular ship. So I was a bit pissed off about that. Anyway, the next turn, it had been left alone. The pirates had gone off and done other things. And I was wondering what was going on there. But I saw that there was a post from Brad Wardell, like the CEO of Stardock, where somebody asked the same question, like, why aren't the pirates attacking my ships? And apparently every turn, the pirates have there's like a random number, almost like a coin toss, where they toss the coin. Are they going to attack or not? I just wish there was some dialogue around that in the game, but that was actually something just talking about the pirate hives. Again, I like these aspects a lot, and the space monsters can be really quite difficult to deal with as well. I wish there was more variation with that as well, but it looks like there's more on the way. I did see some interesting, when I was looking at some of the actual starts of the game, I did see some other weird collections of fleets which weren't strictly pirates, but they were sort of interesting to see what would happen when you did come up against them. And hi, Jamison, how you going? And also we've got Paul saying I'm playing Gal Civ 4 to death right now. 452 hours played. That's cool. That's very, very good. It's a great little game. Like it's very, very cool the way it does work. Then we've got black holes, storms, nebula, sort of space terrain banging through here. The nebulas, of course, sort of mainly slowing the ships down. It's funny because in Gal Civ 3 I really liked these. I don't notice them as much in Gal Civ 4 Supernova. And I don't know what that is, but I remember in Gal Civ 3 with the nebula, you had different nebula that would do different things, and you could use them strategically. Like, you know, some things would sort of reduce shield capabilities. They seem to do more in Gal Civ 3, if I remember correctly. I just remember that the nebulas could be vitally important to actually sort of make good use of them in combat. So, but I haven't. I'm just thinking now in terms of the way I play the game now. I don't even think about nebulas at all. They don't come into the equation at all. But it used to be. I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was Gal Civ 3, unless I'm thinking about a whole other different type of game. But the nebulas would actually, maybe it was Distant Worlds, I don't know. But the nebulas, I thought, actually, did actually have a major bearing in the game back in Gal Civ 3. Custom civilization builder, yep, they've all sort of had that one. Of course, now we have the Alien GPT, which is sort of like helps you create your empire. For me, Alien GPT still doesn't go far enough, to be honest. And I don't think that will change in the release version. Battle Mode saying they're the same in Gal Civ 4, but they've been split into multiple types. I hope that there's more strategic elements in them, like being able to hide in them, or being able to escape in them, being able to affect combat in a different way, like where it would enhance, for example, where you couldn't even fire, for example, a beam weapon or something like that. It would be so cool if there was like different areas of space that had these weird aspects to them. But anyway, that's just I'm only just thinking that off the cuff. Often when I think things off the cuff afterwards, I think, oh, why did I say that? That was a stupid idea. More micromanagement. Hi, Voodoo Dog, how you going? Saying, I wish you could just do one huge galaxy map, just one huge sector instead of multiple semi-huge sectors. You can. It's easy to do that. You can actually, that's absolutely... I might fire the game up, because actually I was talking with Battle Mode during the week, actually, to try to think what's the best way to start a game. And I did it in my last video, actually, to sort of show what you can do. But yes, you can definitely do that. You can go back to... You've got so much more options than what you had with any of the previous Gal Civs in terms of galaxy creation, making them either extremely small, like a little bit of a cage match, all the way up to incredibly large. So you've got such a gamut of... it can go from anything from just a little two-player mini sector battle, all the way up to 96 players in multiple sectors across the galaxy. So you really do have an enormous scope in the game, enormous scope. So Jamison saying somehow the GPT only works for me half the time. The other half of the time the game apparently is not authenticated. Bit of a weird bug. Yeah, I don't know what that would be. So I'm not sure exactly how that one actually would work. Battle Mode saying was added a week ago. All the map generation stuff was overhauled and a bunch of long-standing issues fixed a few weeks ago, says Battle Mode. So if you're not sure, Battle Mode is actually sort of working very closely with Stardock. And so he sort of got the inside run on certain things. So we will try to trick him into giving away some of the secrets if we can. Voodoo Dog saying, so that I have the same gameplay area in one huge sector versus maximum sectors and sector size. Yes. Well, look, I'll fire that up so you can sort of see how that one actually does work. It's so broad with what you can do with this. So Gal Civ 4 Supernova. Oh, it's downloading more content. Now that's interesting. That means that there's possibly another quick patch before launch. I've noticed it does that a bit, but then it won't update the numbers. So I'll just get into it. It does take a little bit of time to load in. It's funny, this loading screen doesn't have Supernova, and then at the end it does, but it sort of doesn't start off that way. So I don't know what happens in this particular load screen. It's a beautiful image, actually. I really like it. He said, but I don't know how he survives in a lava world with just a with his civvy clothes on instead of a spacesuit. But who knows? As we're talking about sort of advanced technology, I guess. All right, so there we go. See, now it sort of comes in with the actual Supernova. So this is a different game than Gal Civ 4. So Gal Civ 4 Supernova is not Gal Civ 4. It's dramatically more advanced than Gal Civ 4 was at release. So if you only have the Epic version, there is actually you can buy basically an upgrade to Supernova, and I do recommend it. Seriously, it's so much better than what the original Gal Civ 4 was. Battlemanson saying that's a difficult question to answer. You have to count the hexes both and figure it out. So we haven't. Yeah, what was that one? Huge sector versus max sectors. The same gameplay area. Yeah, it changes dramatically. There's so many different choices you can do. Yeah, it's still saying version 1.96. This is probably going to be it will be the pre-release version, I think. If you just go to new game, and I'll just pick any old thing. So Korath Clan, my old favourite. Or we can just go random. Won't really matter what we do. But when we come back across into here, this is actually where you then actually have your setups. So for example, the galaxy size is the actual dimension of the galaxy itself. And then you've got the number of sectors. So you've got a difference here. Like if we go to gigantic galaxy with maximum sectors, like many sectors in through this other side, I'll just keep the others where they are. This will just give you a bit of a feeling of what's going to go on. But again, you can change the star frequency, habitable planets. I like having lots of extreme planets and low habitable planets. But anyway, that's sort of just what I'm thinking of playing when I do my launch series. So we've got the resources back in through here as well. We'll just go next. And you can see there we've got up to 95 players available in this particular, like in the most gigantic of the games. So they can just be kept on adding in. Now I don't think you can have multiples of them. So I've only got 26 players. I don't think I can actually add any more. Yeah, no, it won't let me do it. So I've only got 26 players that I've actually generated. But if you have customs that you've actually then gone and made, then you'll be able to have as many of those in there as you like. If we start the game, we'll then generate this monstrously large galaxy. Eventually, it'll take a little bit of time. Everyone's saying Gal Civ and Stellaris both have very good artworks. I have kept asking Distant 2 devs to include more artwork in the games. Yes, it's one of those things where the game. I think one of the things I love about Gal Civ 4 and Age of Wonders, all the Age of Wonders games, is the bright and lively user interface that they actually have. I feel energized when I play it, just on a subconscious. Look at this. Look at the artwork here. It's just beautiful. It really is nice what they've done. I mean, I never get sick of watching this cutscene, the intro into the actual game itself. It is beautiful, and it gives you a real sense of scale as to as to what the game sort of wants you to feel about what it's doing. So even though you're playing like almost like in a board game sort of style, this just presents the where you got the board game style, but the reality of what they're trying to sort of emulate, which I just find just beautiful. It's such a nice one. That one. It's very nicely done. Their 3D cutscenes have improved dramatically, by the way. Like, it's really, really cool the way it does work. So we've just come into the Iconian Refuge. So just click on Done. If we now just go and press, if I press FOW, I've just pressed the tilde key, and then FOWNC will then actually give me, remove the fog of war, but won't sort of trigger any contacts. We then can see basically what the galaxy is. So this is the sector that we're in. And so in this one here, this is the sector that we've actually got generated for where we are. There's one other faction in this particular sector because we hardly have any factions playing. As we then come back out further, we then actually have all these other sectors again with other players in them. So this is how big the game can be. all these different little sectors which will all ultimately be connected. I forget what the cheat is to sort of show the connections, but there will be connections going through. There's pirates down through that other side, but that is the galaxy in this case. This is sort of like the maximized galaxy with the biggest of the settings. So that's one extreme. So if we just go back out, go back into main menu. Now, I would never ever play that sort of game, but I know some people that would. Just go to new game and just go and choose random again. And so that's gigantic. If we go to gigantic but have a singular sector and then just go next. Again, we've got up to 31 players now, but we've only got 23 sort of allocated in there. It always tries to leave a few extras where just so that you actually can expand, but you don't have to. You can actually fill them in. Like we can sort of go and add in more if we wanted to. Just keep on, like we now got 24, for example, or you can go back less. So again, even just the selection of your forces is going to impact the way that the game actually does play. We just start the game. So again, it's just incredible the way that it does actually work. Hi, Explorminate, how you going? Yeah, it's saying too big. It's way, way, way too big. So it's interesting though. Yeah. So now, where was that battle mode saying the cheat to show the connections? What is that one? I did write it down at one point some months ago. Where did you write that? Did you write that one? Oh, fast unlock. Okay, fast unlock. Great. All right, let's just not play that one again. So we'll, I'll just show you. Well, in this case, we don't have to worry about it because we've only just got one major sector in this case. So if we just go back and press the tilde key again, so FOW in. Oh, did it wrong. Okay, that's okay. FOWNC. The reason the NC is important, just so we don't go through all the different contacts with everyone. So this is one major, like almost like an old Gal Civ 3 sort of style game, but with a gigantic map, like a massively gigantic map. And so that one there, like everyone's sort of just on one great big sector. So that's sort of another extreme, but without any other sectors in space. We've just got the one massive area. So again, you can sort of set all sorts of different parameters up. So if we just go back in, like other extremes, for example, might be that you go to main menu, just go yes, new game. And in this case, if we go with like a tiny galaxy size and number of sectors just being singular, this would be almost like a cage match where you go in and just go next into here. You can only allow up to 3 players in this particular instance, but you could have like 2. You could even add all 3 if you needed to start the game. Yeah, battle mode saying if you want to regenerate a map with the same settings, you just hit Control N. That's something that Stardock has done since Elemental. Again, that was actually something that they brought in with Elemental, and it was that's been a feature of all of their games since Elemental days. The Control N. It's sort of funny. I don't know if it's in Elemental you had to do it within, I think, 6 turns or something of the start. I don't know if it's the same in Gal Civ. I don't know if it then expires after a certain amount of time before you then can no longer generate the same settings. But yeah, it's a good tip actually. Thanks, Battlemate, for that one. So this one here, what did we play? This was just a single small one. So, and each faction plays so differently in the game now as well. So it's it really is incredible what the game actually does have. So if we just go back across again, tilde FOWNC and have a quick look. And that's it. So this is a tiny little map. That's the smallest of the maps in through this other one through here. If we go yet again with a different sort of approach, like if we press escape, just go back to main menu. I'll just sort of go through and just show you the extremes with all of these, just so you can sort of see what's how just those 2 little settings actually do impact what does go on. If we go to tiny galaxy size, but many number of sectors, and again you've got between singular, binary, a few, several, and then up to many. So if we did it with this one tiny but with many, we'll just go next. can see we've got up to 67 players again that we can actually have into this particular one. But the sector sizes will be smaller now. So if you start the game, so the gigantic ones will give you big sectors. That's sort of how that one would then work. The tiny will give you little battle, almost like battle sectors to sort of then go with. Let's just go and leave that one through there, and just click on done. Yeah, every faction we're bringing up, like it's they do play so differently with everything that they do. It's really quite amazing. Like it's so interesting now, the game with what it's actually got. Anyway, let's just go and FOWNC, and we also then have what was it? Fast. What was the one that battle mode said? Fast unlock. There we go. So all text unlocked. All right, that just gives us, so we can then start to see everything. So when we sort of zoom back from here, we have smallish little combat type situations in each of the sectors. These are the paths between the different sectors, and so we've got like only 5 sectors in this case, but we've got there's a bit going on in each one of them. So this is actually fairly cool the way it does work. Other ways of even setting this sort of game up is also quite interesting. Like if we just go back in and just go back to main menu and just go, are you sure you want to start a new game? Yep. Just go to new game in through here. And if you go with things like how the proximity, like you've got, for example, close to not too close to all these different things. If you go to close, for example, and go to, let's just say we do like maybe a few different sectors in through here, and we'll just go up the next size and through this other side. When they're close, it means that they're all going to be bunched together. So again, you can fix your games to play a certain way. So if we just do this one as an example, this one's got up to 21 players. Again, if I just get rid of a few of these, so we don't actually have as many in the actual game, so we'll have it play it with just say 10 players in this sort of setup. I think I know how this will work, but I may be wrong. But we'll just see how it happens. It should compress a lot of them together in sectors, and then have some sectors that actually aren't actually being used. So we'll just go and that's another one. It's one of the new factions that's just come in. Press tilde. So FOWNC, and then fast unlock. By the way, if you're wanting to know what all the different commands are, I think a question mark will do it. No, help. Yeah, you can get all of the actual commands, the cheat commands. There's heaps of them back and through here as well. And again, most Stardock games have had these. So if we have a bit of a look to see where we are, so look at this. Everyone's compressed into here. Like there's so many different factions now compressed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in that sector. Then across to this sector in through here, we've got another compression of different sorts of factions, another 5 in through there, and then finally it just comes into here where there's just like 2 factions on their own. So that's actually, we must have a few independents there as well. But this will then sort of push the factions so that they start on top of each other, which again, it may be the way you want to play. It's really, really cool. So this is sort of the way that the game does now sort of set itself up, which, as I say, is really, really cool the way it does actually work. So anyway, that's the that sort of, I think, answers Voodoo Dog's question about the about sort of what the scope actually is, from extremely small to extremely large, but with so many different parameters that you can play with. So you can really get the and I'm wanting to try to figure out the best way for me to play a series so that I end up with getting into the action fairly fast. Where it's fairly aggressive, I guess, and it may be something like this would be sort of fairly interesting to play, because you're going to be on top of each other right from the very word go. But there should be some openings elsewhere where you can sort of then go further into other sectors. Like where there's sectors that some of them don't actually have. But anyway, it's just interesting the way it does actually work. So Battle Mode saying, "Wow, that'd be a great knife fight map." Yes, absolutely. It's just so cool the way the game works, and that was just in small. Like, I mean, if we go back in and go to tiny, I wonder what that would look like. There's the parameters are just wild the way it does actually work. I will do that actually, because I do want to sort of get if I make that one tiny with all these others. So maybe we'll do tiny with several sectors, but with close proximity. If we do that one, just go next. Yeah, we've got 26 players. Let's get rid of a lot of these. Get them down to say let's get them down to say 10 players again, and just see how this one gets presented. It may end up with a whole lot of in fact, let's just go with say 8 players, with a whole lot of empty slots. But we've chosen close as our start. So if you start the game, this is going to mean little combat sectors all over the place. What it should do with most of the combatants in just one area. So just click on done, tilde, FOWNC, and then fast unlock. It is a better way. I used to actually have. There was another cheat that allowed you to specifically target certain texts to actually get them. But for this sort of thing, it's actually really cool. So again, we've got three groups in through here inside this one little sort of fighting. This looks good actually. We've got 3 in through that side. In through this side, we've got another 2. Yeah, 2 with some monsters. What's that? This is actually one of those things that I don't know what this is. This is like a different sort of shipyard. I haven't come across these before in the actual game itself, but these are very, very powerful ships, these Punishers. This is actually the, I don't know what these are, but they look cool. Back over through here, we've got a couple more factions together in that one. Actually, we do have them, they are spread. Okay, I thought there may be some unsettled sectors, but there's so much you can do, like in the actual game itself. It's really, really cool the way it does work. So it's sort of it just does so much, with the way that you can set the game actually up. But yes, I don't know what they are, but it looks interesting. And these start the game with cruisers, so these start already very, very powerful. With what they can actually then go and do. What's that one? Is that that's a battleship, that one there. So they've got themselves like some sort of Bud type battleship. I don't know what that group actually is, the Punishers, or Polduke's shipyard. No idea what the group actually is there. Precursor Sentinels, there they are. All right, so anyway, that's, and what Battle Mode was saying before, Control N when you do, if you don't like the start of a game, just go Control N. It will then just start a new game using exactly the same parameters that you just had. You go back in, and again, it will then sort of just be, now this is Onyx Hive. We chose random. I don't know if it remembers that you chose random, but that's now sort of starting off a game with the same parameters. Control N again. I'll just see if it's Onyx Prime each time. I don't know if it remembers that we had chosen random. Yeah, no, it doesn't. So that's actually probably a bit of a bug. If we choose random, I would prefer it to choose random for me. And so that's something that's, so in that case, we would have to go back out and then re-establish it. But it does remember, if we just go back out to the main menu. Unfortunately, what actually happens here, when we do go to new game, it then remembers what the last one is that we ended up with. And by the way, each of the actual factions as well, like this is actually a silicon-based biology. And so these have different ways of interacting with the galaxy. You've also then got things, for example, like the yaw, which are synthetic-based. You've got aquatics, which one are the aquatics? That's silicon there as well, silicon-based. They're carbon-based. These are ammonia-based. So, and again, they find other opportunities with whatever type of with whatever they have, and then their cultural focus also then just dictates a lot about how they play, and also the abilities massively change the way the game is played, and you can mix and match these to your heart's content. They're really, really cool the way it does work. I forget which one's the aquatic race. I can't remember which one it is. Anyway, very, very cool game. So much you can do with it. Like, it's just so expansive. So definitely, if you're definitely have a look at it. If you're sort of if you've seen the original Gal Civ 4, I wasn't impressed with Gal Civ 4 when it came out, but I am super impressed with Gal Civ 4 Supernova. It ticks so many boxes. All right, we got up to custom civilization builder. The Galactic Bazaar Market came in Gal Civ 3. That's still there as well. That's nothing too special about that one through there. Customised major civilizations at the setup. It's funny that Gal Civ 3 stopped doing that. This is what I mean. They went back to a lot of the things that Gal Civ 2 did. Sorry, I'm missing a lot of comments here. Just have a quick look through. There are unsettled sectors depending on the number of civs that you select. And so, don't know if you noticed, Daz, but the star distribution is a lot more varied and interesting now, says Battle Mode. Yes, it's not balanced, which I like. But it's one of these games, you do get frustrated if somebody steals a planet from underneath you. It is one of those things, that's probably one of the big frustrations I have with the game. You've got to really rush hard to get the good planets at the start, and it's luck whether you find them or not, or sort of luck. Voodoo Dog saying, I don't think it's a bug. Most may want to keep their race just restarting the galaxy. But you see, that's where, if you choose random at the start, because you can choose random, if you choose the actual race, yes, it should remember the race. But if you choose random as your race, it should randomise again the second time around. That's what I believe anyway. I mean, if you wanted it to be going back to think, oh yeah, I will play that one again, you go back to the start and restart a new game, selecting that race. And then if you do Control in, it should then stick with that race. But I do believe if you choose random, it should actually then go across to random. Hi, Sorbical, how are you going? Jemerson say maybe a little bit more of a stupid question, but can I only generate new civs through GPT? Or you can still make them. Exactly like in Gal Civ 3. What GPT does is it gives you text that can then sort of be applied to it. It doesn't select the various abilities. This is actually one of the big shortfallings of Alien GPT. It only goes, I reckon it goes 25% of the way to making the like it interesting. It doesn't generate new citizens. It doesn't generate it doesn't even choose the various abilities that you actually have. You have to choose them in advance or afterwards, depending on what's actually generated. All it does is just give you the background text and a choice of imagery. And the imagery is also very hit and miss at this point in time. So it's not really all that good, I've got to say. Like it's moving. It's innovative because it's one of the first ones to do it, but it doesn't really set the game up. So it's not as if you can say, generate a completely random faction with everything randomized and just let it go and do that. It won't do it. It can't do that. I hope eventually it will, but that's probably going to be a Gal Civ 5 type thing. At the moment, it is just text and imagery, and everything else you have to set up yourself. So there's a few things. Actually, I might just even show that as well. There's a few things I would love to see with that, because of the limitations of that. There is a way you can still do it to have it make sense. So you can still generate a faction fairly quickly. But there is one aspect of this that I really hope that they actually introduce. And so I'm sort of pushing hard for this one. So because when you're trying to generate, like I love random civilizations. I just love them, and in different games. And so when you get constrained to certain things, it becomes a bit annoying. If we go to new game, for example, back and through here, and then just go back and go to the very top where it's got the custom civilization. So you don't have to generate or geneate. I don't know what's missing the R. There it is. It was just coming in. So you've got so many different aspects of the way that the game then sort of does play. So generate will then generate an alien GPT alien, but it only changes the dialogue in through here. It changes the dialogue in the game as well, which is pretty cool. It does a good job of that one. The description of the civilization is what you put in. This is the prompt for it, but you don't need to. You can just override it and just keep on editing wherever you want to do. Imagery, you can bring your own imagery in if you like. I think that this for me is a confusing way to start off. It's here because they're wanting to show off what it does with the generate, but in reality, when you're going to be playing a different sort of faction, you really want to have like a random aspect to some of these, like where it just will pick things randomly for you. And so, for example, these civilization abilities, like there's so many of them, and I would love it to just actually be able to, the way I've been doing it lately is I've been just rolling a dice, but there's 41 of them. So you've got to sort of like just generate a random number between 1 and 41. I just wish there was a little button next to it, just a question mark or a dice, something like that. And when you click it, it just randomly chooses from the ones that are in there. And so that would be very, very cool if it did that one. So you ended up with just a random selection of the abilities, and these are so massive in the actual gameplay itself. But this would be so cool if they just did that, because these do sort of change exactly how things are going to then go and play. Every single one of these has a different sort of bearing. So that's actually something that is interesting to have randomized as well. The civilization traits have a big bearing on the game as well. Unfortunately, the citizens, I'll just cancel that one. The citizens themselves are also a bit of a problem, because you've only got these to choose from, and it doesn't generate its own citizens. Even if it had a starting faction, but then generated the imagery, that would be good, but it doesn't do that either. So it doesn't really finish the job. It does 25% of the job, but doesn't finish the job at all. It doesn't really build it up at all. You've still got to do so much work yourself. But for me, this is actually the starting point, is to actually start here and then go back to biology and then do the generate and sort of randomize from that particular point in time. So there's not enough randomization in here really for me at this point in time. I wish that there was a lot more where you could sort of just get all of these things randomized to see what it builds for you. That would be so great if there was like a randomization option before you came in. Even with the even just a general thing, like where you just had like a button up here somewhere where it sort of like it had a little dice symbol or something where you clicked on it, and it just randomized all of these aspects, the behaviors, the biology, all these different things. Would be so cool if it just did that. So that way you'd be able to just quickly have a look at the abilities. But the abilities, I think, really need to be on this first page, because they're the first thing you need to choose before you start to figure out what your description is, because the abilities do change exactly how you're going to be playing. Like they're dramatically big. This is by far the biggest factor in the actual civilizations. So yeah, we've got. I should just read a few more. So you can still make custom without GPT, says Paul. Yes, you can. So Battlemode's saying no, it's not luck. You still need to build scouts. That's why AI is so good at finding planets. It builds lots of probes. Yeah, it's sort of one of those things where the early rush. It's not luck. I mean, there is certain things you can do with the exploration. You do need to go and do things, and the AI is very good in the game. But Doc's saying, true, and indeed it should randomise in that instance. Yes, there should be an option to randomise, and it's mainly these civilization abilities. Now, this is what I mean before, like when we're looking at the numbers. The abilities we have, there's so many more than what there's ever been before, and they all, as I say, they really change the way the game is actually played, like incredibly. Like each faction, this is the main aspect for me that actually makes the factions play so differently. Battle is saying it would be too expensive for Stardock to generate all these citizens as well, considering you need a couple of dozen different pictures for them. Except, my rebuttal on that one is that you generate your leader, but then surely the AI can then just use that as a seed for generating a collection of maybe sort of like 10 different citizen aspects. Like, because I know that the chat, I know that Stardock isn't actually generating the images on the fly, but if they ever do of that eventually, then that should be able to be done just by using that as a seed. Okay, so Sorbical's saying, but that's what I mean. Like it's 25% of the way there. It's a interesting start, but it's not really there for me. Finishing up Cyberpunk 2077. I'm looking forward to playing Galavant. I don't know what that one actually is. But I'm saying not had the go-ahead to be able to talk about it yet, but you're going to be amazed at what's coming with the AI-generated content in the game before release. Okay, that's cool. So Stardock have gone all out with it. That's great. Actually, that will be good. But yeah, I'd love to have just random civilizations. I think that would be so cool if it just did that. And based on randomizing all these different things and just, bang, there you go. There's a civilization that you can play with or against type thing. Okay, so... yeah, and Battlemode's saying people who've been following Frogboy on Discord will know what I mean, though. So I look at I don't look at it enough actually to watch what's going on in the Gal Civ 4 Discord. So Exorbical saying Gal Civ 4 on release. So Galavant, I don't know what you mean by what you mean by that. I'm so Gal, yeah, it's so did it just do a mistypo when you wrote Gal Civ 4? Paul is saying, don't forget to show the different types of commander ships you can select. Adds even more variation of the gameplay. Yeah, these are the different commander ships as well. And these all have different sorts of bearings. So as you pick these up, these also then have a different focus as to what goes on. So the actual, you've got like world supporting ships, legendary ships, expansion ships, missile ships, aggressive, scavenger, all sorts of different types of ships, different theme ships as well. Again, would love to have this so it just picks a random one for you. Would love that so much. All of this stuff, I just wish that there was ways to randomize the whole lot and some of it as well. Like it would just be so interesting if it did that. And that would be, I'd love that in the game. I don't know if or when that would actually come in, but that would be really, really cool. So we've got and then Battle Mode saying regarding citizens, no, we don't regenerate the art on the fly. Yeah, no, there's no regeneration of the art at this stage, but who knows? This is only step one. But the citizens are the big stumbling block, because you have to choose from this collection. And to be honest, I hate seeing these sorts of like feline, canine, avian. Like, why have them in here? Like that annoys me, to be honest. I hate to seeing that in games. It was bad enough having the Snaffy back in Gal Civ 3, I think it was, when they came in. Gal Civ 2, Gal Civ 3, I can't remember which one it was. Love what they do, hated the actual look of the Snaffy. I've now sort of warmed to them a bit, but I'll never warm to this. They just shouldn't be there. That's a waste of 3 civilization types that could have had their own artwork done differently. So yeah, I'm not impressed with these. Just those 3 there. They are, every time I open this screen up, I look at this one as well and hate the tie worm. I know why they're there, but I don't like them. It's just, I don't know, just don't like them. So Sorbical saying, I've been using online AI art website to generate my civilians pictures. You can add them. Yeah, you can add them manually. It's a bit of a faff, but not too difficult. Yep. And Bellman is saying the reason that they put the animals in there is because they're the most popular requested type of animal. I don't believe that. I cannot believe that. Sticky Mouse is saying, thanks, I'll have a look at what's going on. In the chat, guys, what do you reckon? Just say with or without regarding animals. I'm a firm without. I would love to see the game without those sort of civilians and actually having more alien type civilians. So I also don't really like the animals much, but Stardock are huge animal fans. They let people bring dogs to their office at work. That's what I mean, it's self-indulgent. We'll see what people think in the chat. So with like if you do with, it means that leave it with or without, it's too much. Okay, so Battle Mode saying, sorry, I mean that they're the most requested type of alien according to stats. But they shouldn't just be pets, like this is, I don't know. If they're going to have canine style, no animals, says Flackhawk. Yeah, it's interesting. So Goratian saying, damn, well, I prefer using animal factions. I get so tired of every game having a human, elf, orc type. Yeah, that's okay, as long as it's actually, sentient, not just a pet. So we're saying, I'm sorry, that type of typo and correction. Gal Civ 4, okay. I was thinking, there must be a new game coming out. There we go. Quiet Sprints are saying with. There we go. So Battle Mode is saying cats, girls, and cat girls were the most requested keywords in Alien GPT. Yeah, but I don't think they mean cats like this. Like it's and cat girls. So you're talking to the furry crowd there. With says Goration, there we go. There's another with. Personally without, but doing a full play through with an adorable pink cat Civ, whilst my 3-year-old daughter watches me. Okay, that's I can see that. I can see that being a factor. Hi CB, how you going? The moles in Age of Wonders 4 rock, says Joe's, but they're not really moles, are they? They're sort of like they're anthropomorphic moles. Battle Mode's saying, remember they won't actually show up unless you set them. Yeah, I know you've got to set them. If you don't want tie worms or dogs, don't make a civilization with them, says Battle Mode. Yep, exactly. But I look at them and think, oh, that's a waste of 4 civilization types or civilization collections that could have been very, very different. So, and this is another thing as well, where I really hope that they change the way that the workshop works, where the civilizations can be added in through the workshop. So people who do put the effort in to build a civilization for themselves can actually then upload the civilizations and have them downloadable. It would be so great to be able to actually have these downloadable from the workshop. At the moment, the workshop is mainly about ships, but it would be awesome if the citizens were part of that as well. Battle Mode saying, I hate the moles in Age of Wonders 4. I think they look absolutely horrendous. I can't stand them. There we go. But now you've got your backup Battle Mode. Now you're just being belligerent. Creation saying, yeah, I agree that straight up pets are a weird choice. They are. I wouldn't mind if they were like avian, but avian in a alien way. And same with canine and feline as well. It's just when they're just cats, dogs, and ducks. It's a bit too much. Anyway, let's not worry about this one too much more. But certainly the workshop is heading in the right direction. There's a lot of content already in there. There's a few things in the workshop, and we might just delve off into that one as well. I'll just go through the things that I don't like about the game. I love the game, but there's just little things that annoy me. So you've got the ship designer, the mod workshop. This will then take you through to the actual mod workshop. Now, so this one here, you can see that it's got the different types of, you've got top rated, you've got ship designs, you've got factions, but the factions are superficial. Some of them are superficial. It's very hard to look at a faction and think, oh yeah, that's been really well fleshed out, because you're going to get a lot of people just adding in the first thing that they actually create. So there's one of the cat ones that's done by Brad, the CEO of Stardock. But there's going to be different sorts of things in here that will be, some of them will be fleshed out, but some of them just won't be. These don't come in with I don't think these come in with their own citizens. And I would love to see citizens as another sort of, or faction, but then have an option to sort of show that the citizens are with them. If we just go to the next page, there's a lot of them in here. So as we sort of come back through, it's, if I just go and grab one of these and sort of click on it, it doesn't tell you if there's any sort of citizens with it, and I'm assuming that there's just not. I'm assuming it just comes through, and they're all rated 5 stars, which again, like it's, I don't know, it's sort of like you got a number of subscribers, I guess, but it would be nice to know out of how many ratings there actually was. So it's getting there. It's just not fully there yet. So these are the sorts of things I really hope that when they develop the game past launch, that the workshop area gets a lot more attention, because this is a way to really extend what the game could then go and do, and then the ship style sets as well. There's hardly any of these. This is what I mean. These are the sorts of things where this is a collection of ships. These are the important ones. The actual ship designs, meh, who cares? Really, they're just one-off ships. It's the ship style sets that really set the tone of the game. And so these, if you had a ship style set of Star Trek, or the Federation Star Trek, or the Klingon Star Trek, whatever it might be, that's where I think the game will end up, and ending up being really, really important and interesting. Again, the faction should actually, if it does have a ship set that's been designed for it, it should have that. And so it should actually show what the aspects are for these different things. So that's actually one of the negatives that I find with the game so far. The workshop is there, it's just not really all that functional. So anyway, that's sort of where we are with that one. But anyway, I don't want to be negative about the game, because the game is, as I say, pretty exceptional. They're just the little areas that I just don't like. So you want to quit? You're so close. We'll just go yes. And we'll just go back out again. So let's continue on with the list. So we don't have that much more to do. Okay, so customize, we did that one. So we've got then leaders as well. The leaders are very, very well done now in GalCiv. Again, it sort of shows like a tick as they've got leaders in there, but that is exceptional now with the way that leaders actually now work. It's getting better and better. Characters, people with their own stats. Yep, so that's actually just coming in Gale Civ 4 and then extended in Gale Civ 4 Supernova. Included civilizations has gone from from basic 12 for the first lot back down to 10 for Gale Civ 3. But Gale Civ 3 did actually introduce a heap more, I think. Past launch. Gale Civ 4 had 18, and then Supernova's now got 24 in there. So there's a lot of different types of aliens you now actually have. Mercenaries and commanders. This is cool the way these actually work. Internal factions, so interest groups with agendas. Again, it goes back to Gale Civ 2 days to then introduce them into Gale Civ 4. I like this because there's a lot of people that complained about Gale Civ 3 and actually said, look, Gale Civ 2 was better. And so they've gone back and they've taken that feedback to heart. Hi, Michael, how are you going? So we've got the sectors, ability to play with multiple maps at once. Again, that's only Gale Civ 4. Policy system, so manage civs with policies. Again, that's actually just coming into the game. Multi-species civilizations. For me, that's not really so much of a feature. It just allows you to bring in different sorts of civilians. They don't do much, and that's another area that could be expanded better than what's actually been done. It just means if you take over a planet, you then get all these citizens that will then sort of work for you, and so they become part of your empire. But there's no problem. They just basically just do the work, So it's not as if they're not overly rebellious or anything like that. Not that I've sort of seen. Like, they're very easy to assimilate. And I would almost wish that there was a different aspect to that where we have to control them better for a certain amount of time. I may be wrong about that, but that's my recollections about it. On that battle tactics, so range-based attacks. Yes, this is actually where you can then before you have a battle, you can then fire missiles and long-range beams to actually do some damage before you start the actual attack. That's only come into this particular version of the game. Executive orders, direct on-map commands. I'm not sure what that refers to. Prestige victory condition back in through here as well. So that's a different type of victory condition. Then we've got a lot of stuff that's come either from Gale Civ 2 or 3, and it wasn't put in originally in 4. So we've got then the AI-generated custom civilizations, the Alien GPT. We just went through that one through there. It's, as I say, 25% of the way there, I think, for generating an actual civilization. It's doesn't really go far enough to generate the civilization. I would love to see randomization in that. Consequence events back in through here as well. So if you choose something, it's going to then have consequences down the track for you. I like that. Influence conquest as well. So that's actually now been brought back in, where you can sort of just use diplomacy and push your borders out through culture. Almost like a culture type victory. Artifact vault, I love this. Absolutely love this. When you find an artifact, you can store it for later use, which is awesome. Then we've got the missions and tutorial. I haven't played these. I don't tend to play these with games, but anyway, that's in there as well. The unique tech tree, improvements per civilization. This was part of Gale Civ 2, was taken out of Gale Civ 3, back in here in Supernova. So, and this is something where it's not dramatic. I haven't noticed it much, to be honest. So it's not a dramatic thing. And then Terra Stars back into here. Again, Gale Civ 2 introduced in here now as well. So that's basically the summary of that one. I won't talk about it anymore. That's nearly an hour, I think, we've been talking about this. I might just turn my air conditioner on as well. But that does give the scope of what Gale Civ 4 Supernova brings. It's, as I say, it's a bit confusing. People will just think it's Gale Civ 4, but it's actually not, as you can see through here. It really is quite amazing. So that's sort of where we are with that one through there. So it's amazing game. It's just going to get better and better. I mean, there's a dedicated development team working on it. And that really is it's quite exceptional what they've done, and I think it will just get better and better and better. this will be, I think, the classic version, basically, that people will then sort of start to. I think that this will be the one that they then use as the benchmark, sort of moving forward with the game, which is going to be awesome. So anyway, that's the all improved Galciv 4 Supernova. I'll just go back into, just get rid of that one from there. So that's coming on your Thursday and my Friday, I think. So there's a live stream at release. We'll have a quick look at this one through here. So this is actually starting at the same time that I start my ChatTactic, but on your Thursday, so my Friday. So it's exactly the same time that I normally start these sessions, but on Thursday for most of you guys, except if you're in Australia. So I'll probably, like, that's on my Friday. I don't think I've got any commitments. I might have a look at that one, actually. I'll see if I can actually bounce into that one. I'm looking forward to that. I may even restream it and maybe just sort of sit there and have a look at it and just comment as things are spoken about. I don't know what that's going to do. It's released a live stream event where we can play the game, talk about what's new, create a new civilization with Alien GPT, provide tips on managing core worlds, navigate the tech tree, create a custom ship, and tap into some additional mid-game content. So I'll see what that one's like. But maybe I'll just watch it. I'm not sure how that will go. Anyway, I'll think about that one. That's just in a few days' time. So it sort of does start very, very soon. Okay, we'll close that one off, if I remember. I've got such a bad memory. So if we go back, that's Galciv. I think we've done enough with Galciv. I'm not saying I found a lack of info on some of the cultural information, kind of had to go what the Shark Tank or possibly Engine did, or did I miss where to find that info on that? I'm not sure what you mean there with that, Michael. But I'm saying, Daz, guess who's doing the live stream? Oh, you're doing it, are you, Ben? So battle mode's going to be, it sounds like battle mode will be the feature attraction there for that live stream. So there we go. So Derna's saying, yeah, battle mode, is it an all-female species? I don't know what that one's in relation to. Guy Bellaby saying, what time in Australia when you start these Mondays chats? For me, it's 3 a.m. I will be changing it when Europe changes across to away from their daylight savings. So I'm not sure what the time that ends up being for me. So I don't have daylight savings where I am, but I will actually have a look at when it stops being daylight savings in Europe, and I think that's the end of this month, I think. And so I'll have to have a rethink about my start time at that point in time. We'll see how things actually do go. It's a good time for me to do it at this point in time because I do wake up really early, and so I've already been up for a couple of hours before I started doing this stream, and it's good. It sort of works out well. So anyway, that's Galciv. Let's just go back to the Steam page. I'll go and look at my normal Steam, and then we'll just look at a few. Actually, what I'll do is I'll go to my Discord. And we'll go through what's actually happening through here. So I'll just go basically from I'll just go and try to sort of get this one refreshed. Yeah, and I'm just going to go through the various additions that have been put in here since last week. We'll sort of rattle through these ones. So Shadow Empire. I have started to put up a series today, so I've just put the first video up a couple of hours before coming in to do this. So I'll just show you that as well. Just go back to my YouTube. I've uploaded a few videos, and it's this one here. Get rid of those. So I've just added this one in here. So this has just been released basically, where this particular video just goes through how to approach each of the planet types if you're going to be playing Shadow Empire, and then the actual series itself will be a random playthrough of an unclassified planet. So, and I've already recorded 5 or 6 episodes of that. So I'm a fair way into it. I sort of spent all day yesterday just recording. But yeah, no, these are going to be fairly long format, so like about an hour, 3/4 of an hour to an hour is what I'm going to be aiming for with these. Don't know if anyone's put any comments. Oh yeah, a few people have actually put comments in there, which is good. So yeah, there's so many changes that have come into Shadow Empire in recent times. So just be aware of that. It really is a different game than what it was even a month ago. Just very quickly, you see there the comments of, for example, like the pH of rain. Like pH 4 being a little acidic rain, things like this actually change what happens with your playthrough. Now, water is now really hard to access on most of the planets, so this is actually something that is big. That's a major change, and energy is now much harder to generate. It's from the start of the game, so you need to really plan both water and energy for when you do start. But it's a major change the way you look at the game, which does make it more complex, but so much more engaging, because it means that you've got to think things through a bit differently now to just be able to get ahead. It's still not dramatically difficult, but it just is different. So just be aware that there's major changes in so many different ways in the game. Like it's just incredible what Vic has done with the game. Anyway, that's Shadow Empire. So I do actually have a series that I've just started with that one. So that one, if you are interested, then that's sort of worth having a bit of a look at. Yeah, I've been live streaming it as well, actually, and through here as well. So just talking about the live streams, people talking about the logistics learning curve. That's something that is hard to understand. I don't know what I'm going to try to analyze. Like, I know that I instinctively now look at the logistics and sort of understand what's going on in a basic form. I've probably got to figure out a way to explain what that is. It's a bit like when you do something, like for me, when I'm doing graphics or art, which is my actual day job, when I'm doing that sort of stuff, I instinctively know what to do, but I've then got to explain it to like a client as to why I'm doing it, and I've sort of trained myself to be able to do that. I need to be able to do that with things like logistics in this sort of game. It's something I try very hard to be able to do. Scott was saying I think there have been a few different logistics detail levels in the options now too. Really enjoying the multiplayer over on the War of the Worlds server, even as someone, I don't know what that actually is. Been a good time in helping me learn the game more, so there we go. So yeah, I think they gave a few different logistics detail levels in the options now. Yeah, they did. They've made it so it's easier to play with logistics. It's still there, but it's more forgiving. I still prefer the original by far. Having a bit more of a read. So 29th of October is a change, I think. So it's Quiet Sprints. Okay, there we go. So Guy Battleby saying that's dedication, 3 a.m. I have always woken up early. As a kid, I used to wake up at dawn. All the time, even as a teenager, if you out partying or whatever, like you get home at like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. and I'd still wake up at dawn basically. But as I started in my work life, I ended up waking up earlier and earlier so I could do work early, and then my work has largely dried up. So now I'm basically just do live streaming, but I'm just in the habit of getting up. It's just it's not a good habit. Michael's saying under culture of progressive and risk-taking or futurist, it doesn't really tell what they think a Shark Tank or possible engine you unlock. I'm not sure, again, what you mean. Sorry, Michael. You've lost me. Hi, Slow Demi. And Skeptic saying, how long before you get back to your... I just haven't got to them. I've been recording and doing other things. I've just got to sit down and do it. I just don't want to... It's not a fun thing to do. But I've got to go. There's so many. There's literally thousands I have to go through. It's just one of those. It's one of those jobs I'm just not looking forward to. But I do have to do it. I have to do it, but I don't know when. Noble 2 is saying, by the way, I just wanted to say that the spiky Conquistador Gladiator aesthetic of the incoming Reavers faction in Age of Wonders 4 is truly amazing to me, and I absolutely love it. Yeah, we'll talk about Age of Wonders 4 in a minute with their release. I won't go into too much detail with that one because it's still a little way off. I never miss a good Shadow Empires video, particularly by Dad, says Eddie. Thanks for that one, Eddie. Admiral's been saying, when do you sleep, though? I get about, if I get 4 hours sleep, I'm tired all day. If I get 5 hours sleep, I'm okay. So I try to aim for 5 hours sleep. So I go to bed usually around about 7:30, 8 o'clock, so that I can at least get the 5 hours. So we've got... Larry's saying I'm always up at 2 to 3 a.m. There we go. Yeah, so like me. Admiral's saying I sleep at 3 a.m. See, yeah, some people can stay awake late at night. I can't. I always like to go to sleep early. Battle Mode saying I started sleeping just 5 hours a day. Been amazed for my productivity. Yeah, it's one of those things. As long as it's weird. Like 5 hours for me is about what I normally have. Okay, is the expansion good for Shadow Empire? Says Connie. Oh, that's a real 50-50, Like it's actually, I wouldn't, if you're new to the game, I wouldn't bother getting it at the start. It's only if you start to fall in love with the game that then go and get it. It's not something you need to be playing. In fact, you don't want to be playing that at the start. It's just going to add more complexity. So I would say it's not good if you're a new player. It is good if you're an existing player. It doesn't add enough to make it really compelling, but it does. Again, as somebody who loves the game, I do really like the expansion, but I don't need to play it. In fact, with the game I'm currently playing, I'm not using the DLC to play it because I just know that there's not very many people that are going to be playing it with that one there. So it's a good expansion for what it is, but not for a new player. It's not like if you get some games, you want to pick up all of the different sorts of expansions, so you've got things to play with. Like, for example, Gladius would be a good one to sort of try to get everything to sort of play that one. Not that you need to, but you can. Whereas the Shadow Empire Oceania DLC, first of all, you don't get your own navies, which I think is a big mistake. So that for me is a big negative about them. But you don't also for a new player, it's just too much. So I'd say no unless you really love the game. So we go. Slow Demi is saying it's 107 in Texas. There we are. And so Michael is saying, just wait until you live stream Galciv 4 then, and then I'll ask you when to spend your culture points and what they do. Yeah, it's sort of, so you're talking about culture points. Is that what all that was about? Sorry if I've completely misconstrued all that. Where was that? Oh, under cultural progressivism, risk-taking of futurists, it doesn't really tell what they do. Okay. I don't know, actually, to be honest. I don't know. I tend to only just look at what I need to do for right at the moment. So I don't plan ahead with those. I just go with whatever. I try to play personally, I've tried to play the culture points in a role play aspect. So I do what the faction would want to do, not what I want to do, unless it's something I really need badly. So that for me, that's a role play element. So I don't really get into it. Sorry, finally understand what you mean. That's now making sense. Okay, Battlemode saying to Connie, only if you're a veteran of the game. It's complex and adds a lot more, but it's really good. That summarises it pretty well. Derna's saying the maritime mechanics are difficult to wrap your head around in a game already full of complicated mechanics. Yeah, it adds complexity, but it does add fun as well. It adds invasions, maritime invasions and things like that, which you. So it adds elements which are interesting if you're into the game. Sketic's saying, well, new content always supersedes old content, so don't worry about rushing the old stuff back. I like your old stuff, but I prefer the stuff I haven't seen yet. I need to get through it. It's one of those things. Every day I wake up. I'm now starting to feel guilty that I just haven't got into it. Battleman is saying Oceania is basically turning Shadow Empires into more of a grand strategy game, and you have to know the mechanics very well to be able to do it, to do well at it. Yeah, it sort of changes. It changes the logistics into a whole other different logistics system, which if logistics is already hard, then welcome to logistics 2.0. Battleman is saying if you don't know how to make credits reliably, you're going to lose. There we are. Connie's saying I usually like the low-tech Mad Max style scenarios which don't require too much logistics anyway. Thanks for going to get it one day just to support the dev. Yeah, I personally like it, but it's one of those things. If you like the Mad Max style scenarios, then it's in fact one of the easiest ways to play Shadow Empire. Like when I made that video, I sort of stumbled across it. I'll show you actually. While we've got it open, if you wanted to play a game where you don't have to worry about logistics very much at all, you're still got to worry about them, but not too much. And even without actually going to the cheaty way of actually playing it, if we just go and play this. because the smaller the area that you're playing in, the less you have to worry about logistics, because the logistics don't change, but the scale of the map actually does. So if we start a new game, and I sort of, I don't normally like doing this, but if you go to small, start with small, go to a moon, into here, click on alien life, and you can have it sort of spread out as well. Actually, if we just go continue, and then you can, of course, change your game variants to have different logistics if you do want these to be easier logistics, which essentially doubles the range of the logistics. So it's still logistics, but whatever you want to do, that one there, or yeah, so you can do either of those and just go and click on continue. You then end up with an extremely small, like knife fight, as Battlemage was saying there about the Gal Civ type games. If we just go, and I'll just go with anything. I don't really care. So we'll just go back across, continue. So you end up with a little battle map, which I think is really cool. I've actually got to do a live stream on Slytherin later today, like in 3 hours time from now, and I will be doing exactly this because I really like the look of this. This is quite interesting. If you just start the game and have a bit of a look, but you end up with a way of playing which gives you everything you need to get started. So you're not really struggling with anything when you have the life. Even if I didn't check to see if there's any sentient aliens, but if we just start the turn here, I think there often is sentience. But anyway, it creates a tiny little battle map. If we just go and remove that one as an example, just dismiss that. And dismiss that one as well. So we end up with that's it. Hey, no logistics problems. There we go. So just a tiny little battle map. I love the idea of this. And the fact that you've actually got life on the planet means that you've then got all sorts of different ways of playing it. So this one here is, I didn't actually check to see if there was sentience with this one here. If we just have a quick look at the help file and then the planetary overview. Yeah, okay, so there's only 3 majors. There's no minors on this one because it's just too small. But there is life. And so we've got complex life on the actual planet itself, but not sentient. I love the idea of this because it means that you've then got a really dedicated combat sort of system. You've still got, for example, non-aligned forces. These are probably going to be animals, I would guess. Just go and have a quick look down. But this, for me, is I just can't get my recon up. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so we've got enough recon now on that particular area to see what it actually is. So this is the bugs that are here. These are 7-metre carnivores resembling a mollusk analogue. Its chemistry is ammonia carbon-based and is oxygen-breathing. And so it creates, like, this is one way you can play where you don't have to worry at all about there's a few things you don't have to worry about when you play it this way. You don't have to worry at all about the logistics, or not much anyway, because the game itself is just so damn small. That's it. Like, that's the whole battle map. So logistics become becomes a cage fight basically, which is really quite interesting. The other thing with it too is that you end up with fuel, which you don't get on moons because you've got life, and so it gives you that as well. For me, I just really like the idea of this. You won't have any free running water though, so there won't be any of that. There will still be escarpments, so you do actually have escarpments. You may have canyons as well. It's just a nice way to play the game. Anyway, I thought I'd just show that because if people are struggling with logistics, then that would be a way to play the game, have fun with it without worrying too much about logistics. You still got to worry about them, but it's not bad. Anyway, that's thought I'd just show that because I was quite impressed when I just stumbled across it when I was going through the different planet types. But that's a nice little way to actually play the game. All right, so yeah, so that's. I would now actually almost suggest that be like a tutorial if people wanting to do it. It would be to play it that way. Yeah, so where are we up to? Yeah, so Battlemite's saying, and that's not a trivial thing to learn in Shadow Empire. Yeah, so there's a lot in Shadow Empire that does take a bit of effort to sort of get on top of it. Slow Demi is saying, what's your top game right now? Top game right now is, that's a good question. God, that's a good question. There's so many of them actually. I'll just go back to my list because yeah, there's been a few updates with a few different games. I still want to say Age of Wonders 4, but I don't think so. If I'm thinking about the sorts of games that are my go-to games, I would still probably say I don't think I've got it even in here actually. Is which I've been playing it a bit. I really do like Gladius, like Warhammer 40,000 Gladius. It's an oldish game now, but they keep on bringing it in new content, and I've been live streaming that over the last couple of days, and thoroughly enjoying that. It's one of those games. If I look at my list of games, the games that I would play without even thinking twice about are Distant Worlds, Age of Wonders. So even Dwarf Fortress, I've got to get my head into the right frame of mind to play that one. Yeah, not many of the others up there, to be honest. The other ones I've got to be thinking differently to actually sort of play Shadow Empire and Gal Civ and these sorts of games. But Gladius is another one that so I can easily play Gladius at any point in time. Lately, I've been playing Quasimorph. It's just as a go-to game, which I've really been enjoying an awful lot. Back over this other side, the old Kerbal Space Program would have been one of those sort of games, but the new one is not. It's just not good enough, just at this point in time. Been enjoying Dot Age, but it's not a go-to game for me. So I'd say that, yeah, probably out of, like at the moment, just the games I would just go to automatically would be Gladius, Distant Worlds, Age of Wonders, Quasimorph coming in, then looking at games in the second tier of sort of being like Dune Spice Wars. All of these require a bit me to get my head into a different frame of mind, but Dune is a great game. Gal Civ 4, Shadow Empire, Dwarf Fortress, Master of Magic, Dominions. Been enjoying Symphony of War as well, but it's just not random enough for me. They're probably my next tier down. But yeah, that would sort of where my head is at this point in time. So where did we get up to? So Eddie's saying, yeah, Oceania adds amphibious creatures that are quite annoying. They are annoying. Are indeed. Derna's saying the ocean creatures are annoying for coastal roads, but very convenient for levelling up your air force. That's true. You do need a strong air force to deal with those. Guy Bellaby's saying, Daz, I've been playing Star Trek Infinite this week and enjoying it. Have you tried it? No, I haven't been offered that one actually. I haven't chased it either. It's one of those things. When I was looking at the I guess just superficially looking at what people thought of it, people weren't really raving about it, and so I didn't really bother with it. Dimas was saying I made a comment in the Shadow Empire Discord forum thread about logistics. Okay. So I haven't been looking at the Shadow Empire Discord, to be honest. Except unless it's mine. Is it the one that you're referring to in here? If I just refresh, I wonder if that will... So I don't know if it's this one or the actual official one. There we go. Gober's saying it's nice to see the truck depot level changes to Shadow Empire, where there are 2 levels of truck depot per city level now. Yeah, that's cool. That is cool. So I'm not sure if that was the comment that you were just referring to. And then we've got same good time. Yeah, there's a new one that we actually have in through there as well. So that may be the one that you mean. So it's but yeah, the trucks levels, the game is just getting better and better and better. Really, really cool. Too much love in Slow Demi is saying much love to all in the chat, and so Gladius is a great game, but I've not played enough. It's a Sorbical. I love that game. Slow Demo saying Quasimorph is incredible. Yeah, it's good fun. Quasimorph is one of those games that, like, I tend to end up having little spurts of games that I absolutely love for a shortish periods of time. Quasimorph is that game at the moment. Another game I really liked in that category was where was it? Heat Signature was another one that was one of my go-tos. Noita was another one that I just found that I just couldn't stop playing when I started to play it. There's a few of them that end up in that sort of category. How strong is your best warrior in Quasimorph? I don't get very far into it before I get killed. Luke is saying, hi Daz, do you like Caves of Cud? I like the idea of it, but I haven't played it for a long period of time. And I don't like this, I don't like the overmap, basically. So Connie is saying, any chance of new guides and the new species on the new species in Distant Worlds 2? Yes, I will be wanting to do a playthrough on those. Actually, to do more with those. I have done some with that, but I wanted to do more content. My toss-up was to either do Distant Worlds 2 content or Shadow Empire content. But because I've been playing Shadow Empire this week, and because there's so many changes in the base game now, that I thought I'd just do Shadow Empire. That's why I sort of started a series of Shadow Empire. So it's Admiral saying Star Trek Infinite is good, but unsure of the replay value. Yeah, it's sort of, I don't know, for me, I'm not really going to chase that game. Durna saying, I've gone back to Field of Glory Empires. I've finally mastered the building and legacy system. Yeah, that's actually. I did actually apply for the beta for the new Field of Glory Kingdoms, which I'm looking forward to for when that one does come out. But I haven't heard back yet, so I haven't been accepted into the beta. But I'm not saying I like Quasimorph, but it's got a weird pacing for a roguelike. I don't know. I like it, depending on where you fight as well. Like each of the actual scenarios is quite different as well, which is quite cool. And each of the battles is quite different. It's too easy to start, but then the difficulty spike is suddenly very sharp. Again, I think it's choosing the right battles. And Battle Mode saying, Durna, that's one of my favourite games. I'm currently playing a multiplayer Let's Play series with Richard York and another guy who's recording it. Oh, there we go. So we've got the, so that's the Empires. Empires is a great game. Kingdoms is going to be even better. Can't wait for that one. Jemison saying, did you hear anything regarding Dominion 6 recently? We don't know. I don't know anything at all about it. I haven't heard anything from the devs. I think if they'll probably contact me closer to launch. That's sort of what they tend to do. Matthew's saying hi, so hi back. Connie's saying, by the way, ever played Quadriga, also published by Slytherin. It's turn-based chariot racing, small game. It's a cool game, that one. I do actually have that. Yeah, there it is there. So I loaded this one back in. I don't know if you can still get it. I think that they've taken the game off because there's actually another one coming, another game in development, but the development has slowed right down. I don't know when they're going to finish it, but there's it's called Ancient Chariots, I think, or Ancient something or other. But it's basically Quadriga, but in 3D, and it's the same. It's done by Stardock. Sorry, not Stardock, but by Slytherin, as Quadriga is. So Quadriga, it's the next version of Quadriga. But I don't know if you can still get Quadriga. Actually, I'll just have a quick look on Steam. Have a quick look in there. Can you get... Now, is it V? Yeah, actually you can still get it. There you go. You can still get it. Very, very cool game, this one. But there is a new version in development. I don't know if they're going to mention it at all. It sort of, everything went quiet. It's QV, not QU, as well, by the way. So that's how you find it. Maybe I looked up QU last time and thought it wasn't there anymore. But it came out in 2014. It's a fun game to play, but the new version will be better when it actually does come. Slow Demi is saying, I died about 1 million times in Quasimorph, but my current playthrough, I'm dominating the solar system. The trick seems to be gaining different items and trading them in the economy. Yeah, I think that's sort of like the way to extend the game. So I think we said hi to Matthew before. Hi, Tarank, how you going? We all hope for the remake of Quadriga. It's in development. I think that the same dev team was working on another game as well. I forget which game it was, but the remake of Quadriga was actually then pushed back. It's ancient something, and I think that there's a word chariot in there somewhere. But it's a chariot racing game, but it's more detailed than what Quadriga was. Yeah, so Connie's saying, almost looks like my game library. Yes, I think we all basically have the same of the same type of games. Like I've found that with you guys. Like it's quite often we've got the same sort of collection or similar sorts of games, which is pretty cool. So Noble to saying, wait, what was that Unicorn Overlord game? Yeah, that was someone had mentioned this to me. And I didn't like the look of it, so I didn't even look at it. Did I have that one in there? Is it in here somewhere? No, I don't know where you saw that, sorry. I certainly don't have it, but I won't bother with getting that one. It's Unicorn Overlord is basically a JRPG, and it's only Switch, I think. So it's not even a PC game. So you won't find it in Steam. I think, if that's what we're talking about. So it was one of those games where it was a little bit like the Symphony of War, the way it sort of played, but it just didn't really. I don't know. Like it was not when it was recommended to me, but I then sort of bypassed it. Or is it in here? Is it under my Discord? Maybe. Yeah, no, it's not in there. Anyway, Shadow Empire, doing a series on that one right now. Old World, a bit more content in through there, so I love this game. Looks just like any other turn-based 4X, but once I played it and understand how the mechanics work and intertwined, I was hooked. Yeah, definitely a hidden gem. I haven't played this game enough. I've got to play that one. Let's just go through a few more of these. I added Dwarf Fortress and also the DF hack as well into here. So there is an announcement that Adventure Mode will now be next year. They are working on it, but it is coming, so that's a bit of news about that one through there. Age of Wonders, we actually have the launch coming. So this is the Empires and Ashes launch, which is coming next month on November the 7th. So I think that's what it is for everyone. If I just go back and right-click on that one, we can have a bit of a look and see. Yeah, so the release for me is the 8th, which means it's the 7th for nearly everyone else. So that will be when that one actually does come. I've chased for it to try to see if I can get stuff early for it, but I haven't actually got anything with that one. I won't go into too much detail because we're running out of time now, but I'll leave that one where that is, and then we'll definitely have a closer look at that closer to launch. So they've got different sorts of. They've got now like an avian faction, so not just a duck. Stuck there with like from Gal Civ 4. This is actually an avian class now that does come in. The dogs are not part of the game, so they haven't gone the Stardock model and put dogs and ducks in. They do actually have an avian faction now that will be coming into the actual game itself. They've done more with this as well, like with the Magisterium or whatever it's called, like the central area, I believe. It does look cool. These are the new factions coming in with the now we're getting sort of more like steampunk sort of firearms. I know some people that really don't like the idea of that. Different types of this actually looks interesting. This looks like a whole different. This looks very Eodor types things with shards. That could be really fascinating actually. That's a different map style. Okay, I haven't noticed that one before actually. So that does look good. I like this. I didn't know that this was coming actually. That's more of the sort of like the late medieval now with the sort of steampunk type stuff. We've got different tomes now coming in as well. By the way, there was a really interesting chat on my Discord about why Age of Wonders 4 is not immersive, and I was really interested in what people were saying about that one. So there was a bit of dialogue there, which I thought was really, really interesting. So thank you for the people that did participate in that, because it gave me a bit of an insight as to where people are actually when they analyse it for themselves, as to where it's actually failing for them, which is very, very interesting. Again, more tomes, alchemy, steampunk type things like the ironclads, etc. But again, it looks like it's going to be a good addition, this particular DLC. So again, coming in less than a month now, so not too far off. But I don't have a version of it just yet that I can actually make use of. So that will be coming. Then we've got Menace. People are just saying, really looking forward to this one. This game is looking great. So this is by the makers of Battle Brothers. And let's have a quick look at this one through here, and it's published by Hooded Horse. So Hooded Horse, God, they've got some good games coming, but this is actually going to be like the newish sort of Battle Brothers type thing. I won't go through it again. It's coming in 2024, so I'll sort of just skip over that one, but really can't wait for that one to come. There's Star Trek Infinite back down through here again as well. People saying finding it pretty underwhelming. If it has no star lanes he's in, says Voodoo Dog. And it is based on one of the earlier versions of Stellaris, from what I can understand. But for me, it's sort of like it's there. I don't know if I'll be offered that one at some point. I certainly haven't been offered it yet, which I'm sort of a bit surprised. But I thought they may have, because I do so many space games. But even though I love Star Trek, I don't know if, like from what I've seen, if this is the right game for me. The Crust. So this has been put up where. Use drones to build a colony, explore and mine Luna, so mine the moon, essentially. to become a hero and get the exclusive bonus. Let's have a look and see what actually happens through here. When's this one coming? Q1 2024. So maybe we sort of leave that one back a little bit before we go there. So the Lunar Colony, I've got a few different colony ones that are coming in actually, with different sorts of devs and things. Like there's a few sort of space colony type games coming up. But anyway, that's one that has been placed there. Unreal Engine Dev Contest winner. I've got no idea what this game actually does do. So we'll have a look at that one as it gets closer. Just looking at the time, I just have to sort of rattle through these. .age, this is an incredible game. God, it's been good. So it does have this one more turn feel. I did a video on this the other day. It's funny. I recorded a whole lot of videos earlier in the late last week, and but my microphone wasn't working, and I don't listen to them afterwards. I was just recording. So I recorded, I think, 3 videos on .age. I recorded a Gal Civ video, but I just didn't have my microphone working. And I even processed the videos, uploaded them all to YouTube, and then it was only after I released the Gal Civ one that people were then commenting there's no audio, and I thought, oh shit, it's because whenever I have a Windows update, it destroys my microphone settings, and so anyway it was completely nothing there. 7 days ago, we were talking about this one last week. I think I might just leave this one here, Falling Frontier. We'll talk about this one. When is this one coming out? I thought it was still this year. Yeah, still got 2023 there. I don't know if it will. Like, these sort of games always end up taking a lot longer than what people think. But we'll see how that one does go. We'll have a quick look at Steam again, and I'll just go back to my actual Steam login and go to my library. So I've been playing Shadow Empire, Gal Civ, of course. We just had that one open. Gladius, love this game. Astro Colony, I've just actually downloaded it. I haven't actually played it. You can see there's 0 minutes on that one through there. This was actually offered to me by the dev some time ago, actually, when it first came out. That one, I don't know. I think it's got a fairly good rating from people who do play it. Yeah, very positive initially, up to 83, but it's mixed at the moment. So I think that they're changing things as it goes. This is a little bit more like Factorio, but in like a space colony. So I'm looking forward to trying it, but I just haven't got to it yet. And they keep on bringing in different sorts of updates. When I first was offered the key, I missed the email, and so I didn't actually get to see what it was. But it does look fairly interesting. Anyway, let's just go back out of that one. Yep. So .age, love that one. Symphony of War with the new Legends DLC, great addition as well. I did a live stream the other day on YouTube with that one, and then we've got a few of the demos I've played it. This one's going to be an interesting game to look at. Now I didn't record the actual the demo that was available through the Next Fest week, but Classified France 44 is going to be a good game, and so I've seen what's coming in the coming months with the different sort of releases and stuff. It's not released yet now, so it was only the demo, but that's going to be a good game to actually have a look at as it sort of gets closer to actual release. It's going to be quite intricate, I think. All right, then we just go back up the top through here. We've got Quasimorph. It's got another hot fix. They bring these out all the time. .age, this one here has got like I think he's got now like an alpha that's coming out for people to be able to play in advance with the fixes. We just went through this dev journal anyway, so we've just done that one. There's adventure mode, which we spoke briefly about, which is coming next year. They did speak a little bit about this one as to what's going on. It does say major update, but it's really not an actual major update to the game. It's just saying, hey, we're going to be a bit slow. There's a lot to do, a lot of work to do. So there's a heap that they're sort of working on through there. Anyway, that's that Dwarf Fortress does what Dwarf Fortress does. So there's nothing much we can do about that one through there. That was a week ago when the sale was on. I don't know if that sale is still on with Hooded Horse Games. Stellaris always has details in there. Quasimorph, another hot fix. Jagged Alliance 3 actually had I think there's more content, or not more content coming, but I think there's just more fixes and things coming with this one. Tons of guns, yeah. I'm not sure. I haven't played that one since launch, actually. That's another game that I really, really enjoyed, but just haven't gone back to. Stardeus has got an anniversary update. That's interesting. Okay, so the 1 year anniversary update brings you a brand new research system, refined UI, new content and mechanics. This is a very, very good game. Very good game. So, yeah, welcome to the first anniversary update. This is, if we have a look at this one here. So, yeah, I can actually update this one to this particular version. Just go to the store page. This is Paradox Arc. So what Paradox Arc is like it's Paradox Interactive, but they've got like a special division to look after single devs or just basically small independent devs. But this is very positive, like 89% and 100% for recent reviews. Very, very good game, this one. It really is amazingly good. This is one where you sort of have like a wrecked ship. And you've then got to try to pull the ship together and make it sort of functional. There's all sorts of different things that actually happen as you do it. So it's a really interesting sort of roguelike type shipbuilder, essentially, with different things where you're trying to sort of save people in stasis and all sorts of things. It's a very, very cool game. It is a very, very good game, actually, that one. Let's just go back. Skim on past this one. Thronefall, Desert Lightning Awards. I haven't played that one for a long time. Actually, well, this one's just come out recently, but I haven't played it since release. This is a pretty cool game. Again, a bit more of a very small battle type game. Hex of Steel. I've got to play this again as well. This is another one of these games that has improved a lot since I played it last. Rising Lords. That's interesting. That's today. This is a major update. So play the first 2 chapters of our upcoming story campaign. So now, okay, story campaign. I'm not interested in that, to be honest. But maybe with this game. Yeah, so they've got this one. We're constantly working on improving various aspects of the game. So story campaign content. To make the wait for the full release a little bit sweeter, we want to give you something back to our early access players. Today we're releasing the first 2 chapters of our new story campaign to give you the taste of what's to come. Don't know if that will be coming as DLC. It looks like this is just part of the actual game itself. Rising Lords is a game that could have been exceptional, and it's mostly positive, like 72%. It could have been so good. And it just failed a little bit in little areas that just and so I'm always hopeful that this game is going to come really, really good at some point. So this is something that I sort of hope will actually happen. But if they do actually have these new stories that are coming in, is it going to be DLC? There is a demo there for it. It's a good game, but it could have been an awesomely good game, and it may still end up there. There's no DLC listed there, so I'm assuming that the story. I might even look at that, because if it does actually, in fact, this looks like it is actually about the story. Let's have a look at this one. Let's go back to the start. The way it works, I'll just pause it and sort of explain how things actually do work. You slowly build up a city, or cities, depending on what you're sort of doing, and then you've got like citizens that can then go and do different tasks within the city. When disasters happen, they then need to be working on the disasters to try to sort of then fix them up. You also have armies available. So this is actually the army for this particular city, and so this has made a collection of different types of fighting units. And so when you go into combat, you then play on a battle map that is basically the city map. So you're still playing on the same map, a little bit like Endless Legends to a degree. And so that's the way it sort of does play out. But then your army then spreads out into the various forces that it actually has. So we'll see what actually happens with this. You get different beasts and things attacking you. This is now ruins that now need to be rebuilt. If the cities can't support people, they become beggars, which means that they sort of are a drain on your resources. This is the combat that I'm talking about. where the combat, you can have like different units and then attach a commander to specific units as well. But this is one where we've got like, this is just surrounded with some spearmen coming in against peasants. Bang, kill them. So this looks like it's the story. So small droplets of rain blood. I hate it when it's this verbose. It's just too much. And so there we go. Blah, 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 blah. So, actually, I do remember seeing that somewhere else. It's a story prologue in through here. Again, this is sort of like the building up of the city. So you prepare your army on whatever it might be. This is the army builder, where you actually have your lord, and then you actually construct the different types of units depending on the resources that you have acquired, which is very, very cool. And then you sort of have the combat. So you see like a tiny army there. It just gives you a bit of a feel for what you're going to be facing. Some in that one through there. This is the this is 4-player multiplayer with the various diplomacies. Scenarios. Yep. So this is actually the build queue. Again, city builder. That's a big army, that one. Can I go back? I can't go back. Oh well. This is the combat again. So you've sort of got like more. The combat's quite detailed. The actual terrain that you fight on has a bearing, and so it actually is important to sort of like have certain things fighting in the woods or on hills. They get different benefits. So it's a very pure war game. And then you have extra cards that you can sort of do. So the mechanics are sort of halfway there, or nearly there. It just didn't quite live up to what it looked like it could be. And you'd be forgiven to sort of think it looks a bit like Battle Brothers, but it's nothing at all like Battle Brothers. So there we go. That's it there. So anyway, that's Rising Lords. Again, it's a game I always like to come back and have a bit of a look at because I really like the idea of it. Excuse me. So now I'm missing a lot of the comments here, guys. I'll just go back up the top and have a quick look. Where are we? God, I've missed a lot of them here. Sorry, guys. God, I've missed a lot. All right, so we did Quadriga needs multiplayer. We did. That's Eddie's saying that one. Ancient Chariots Arena will have that. Yes, they will. Ancient Arenas Chariots. That's what it was called. The other game. Slow Demi is saying, what was your first PC game? Ooh, Battle of Britain, I think, back in 1993 or 92 or something. I love that game. It was a little flight simulator. Did you try the new Terminator RTS game? To Admiral? Yes, that's going to be a interesting game. There's some problems with it. It doesn't have like a Supreme Commander sort of style zoom out, and it does need that. It's also it feels a bit one-dimensional. I think if you got into it, you'd be able to figure out more about what it does do. The skirmish maps look really interesting, so that will be good. But for me, at the moment, I'm about a 60% just based on what I've seen, but I don't know enough about it yet. So look forward to seeing what it does bring. But it's not, for me, it's not a game I'm really, really looking forward to. It's a game I'm looking forward to, just not a hell of a lot. Okay, so Slow Deming saying joining the Freemasons on the 7th. I'm not sure what that's in regard to. That's the release, I think, of Age of Wonders. Young Arlen is saying, "Hi, you're planning to play Norland? That's a RimWorld-like game that you can request access to now." I'll put that one down, Norland. I don't know if I've heard of that one. I'll actually just put that in my little list. RimWorld. When people mention games like RimWorld, I'm thinking, yep, actually that sounds interesting. So I'm not sure if I've seen that one. Derna's saying, I for one have only been asking for pike and shot orcs for a long time. Yes, that would be cool. It would be good to get some fantasy into Field of Glory, into the Field of Glory system. It would have worked well, I think, for fantasy. So, yep, hi, Fantaslas. I won't try to say the rest of your name, it's too long. Probably Lords of Realm original. So it's Yeah, Rising Lords feels like Lords of the Realm. It's better than Lords of the Realm in the way that it sort of does structure. So it's an improvement on Lords of the Realm. And Lords of the Realm was one of those games that I did go back and have a look at a few years ago now, but it was like I was surprised at what a shit game that was. Yet you look back so fondly from when it first came out, but when you actually go back and play it, it's not fun to play. It's just not a good game. Rising Lords, though, really was like it really was the promise of producing something that was much better than the original game. But you look so fondly back on those games, and that was sort of the trouble that we had there. Yeah, so Star Trek Infinite is whelming, so neither under nor over, says Admiral. And Thomas is then saying first PC game was Zork. Okay, I remember that one. Yeah. So and actually Slow Doom is saying Lord of the Realm is fantastic. Play it again and see what you think. From what I remember, when I played it again, I was so disappointed in it. It was like, oh my God, what am I doing playing this shit? But at the time, I loved it. It was one of my favourite games when it first came out. So Jim and Eunice in saying Paradox has massively reduced the amount of codes they give out to creators. Yeah, I'm not sure actually how that one sort of works, but I'll have to wait and sort of see what does actually happen with that. I don't know why they would do that, because they've actually had some big successes by giving out the codes, but I probably wouldn't play Star Trek. So maybe that's, I'm not really in the Stellaris loop, and so being out of that loop, I'm guessing I'm not going to. I just hope I get the Age of Wonders stuff. That's really the stuff I really care about. Slow Demi is saying yes, Zork lol, and then we've got Nebulous Fleet Command fans here that's asking Connie. I find it too difficult. I've tried to get into it, but it was too much for me to invest in. Adrian's saying Age of Wonders 4 is like starting sampling. I'm not sure what that means. How to make a game so that they can put a ton of DLC in it. Yeah, I know what you mean. So I think that there will be a fair bit of DLC. Not sure. I mean, they were very resistant to do it in Planetfall, but they have certainly opened the gates a little bit with already with Age of Wonders 4. So Slow Doom is saying Dark Legions. I don't know that game, so that was probably one of the old ones. Connie's saying it's like submarines in space. Yeah, it's a good game, but the learning curve was a bit too steep for me to invest in. Okay, so Slow Doom is saying I was blown away with the original Duke Nukem games. Yeah, they were fun. Fun back in the day. Connie's saying heck yeah, first time I saw a working mirror in a game, I believe. I'm not sure what game that actually was. So, all right, so we just got High Voxter, just skim past for these ones. So, yeah, Derner is saying Rising Lords is kind of a Lords of the Realm light. It's sort of, for me, it does a better job than Lords of the Realm. Maybe Manor Lord would be good. I haven't heard much about Manor Lord since, like, for maybe 6 months, so I don't know where that is on the release spectrum. Then we've got Tenor saying, hey, Daz, what was it that you disliked about Old World? I haven't played enough of Old World to actually have a dislike about it. I don't actually have any dislikes about it. Everything that was in it, I actually quite like. Slade Emily is saying side-scrolling Duke Nukem. There we go. Just read a few more of these. Just skim past a lot of these, actually. Let's just see if there's anything that sort of is referring. There's Jerry. Hi, Jerry. How you going? Anyone played Solemn Inferno? Just played the demo, but that was an amazing game. Yeah, Solemn Inferno is probably one of my most anticipated games of next year. That is really, really cool. I do actually have the original. You can't get the original anymore. I know that you can't get the original anymore for that one, but I do actually have, this is Solemn Infernum, the original, back in through here, windowed and just the base game itself. I had the game from when it first was released, and so I did load it in to actually check and see how different it was from the new version of Solemn Infernum. I don't know when this demo is going to expire. I sort of half anticipate it's already expired, but I really did. I like what I'm seeing with the new game coming. It's going to be very, very cool. The old game was incredibly good, and that's even okay to play now, even though it's an oldish game. Okay, so Connie's saying my first games were tapes on C60 on the Commodore 64. Yeah, actually, my first actual game was way back in the 80s, so on a TRS 80. Admiral saying Terminator has a demo was pretty decent. The skirmish mode is good. I found the story mode confusing, to be honest, in Terminator. Now seeing Jemison saying, did you ever play Hearts of Iron 4? Yeah, I did. I haven't played much of it. Again, I didn't warm to it as much as other games. I can't play it anymore since playing Shadow Empire. Yeah, I'm sort of in the same boat, I think, which is much deeper and more interesting. Yeah, I just like Shadow Empire really does capture so much for me. My first game was Defender of the Crown. Oh, there we go. I remember that one as well. And Duna is saying Lords of the Realm 2 was a big improvement over Lords of the Realm. Lords of the Realm 3 was a disaster. Maybe I'm thinking of those, you know. Maybe I'm thinking of those. I can't remember what I played, but anyway, I wasn't impressed when I did open it back up again. Slade is saying Star Trek, and I love said it seems to be a thing of the past. Yeah, I know what you mean. That may, like, this is where I've got hope for games like Galcia 4. I think that could be modded to actually make that one work in a way for something like a bit sort of Star Trek-y. Not super much like it, but that would be fun to play a mod like that. So Michael's saying, I think my first PC game was Blood Witch. I don't remember that one. I'll just skim past these because we need to start to wind up now, guys. Hi Drexy, saying BBC Micro was my first computer. Elite was one of my first games. And Slade Demi is saying, yeah, Lords of the Realm was a breath of fresh air at the time when it's a slog at the time, but it's a slog to return to. Yeah, it's sort of funny actually. It's one of those. It was so good when it first came out because it was just so different. I guess it was very, very interesting the way it did work. Bertel is saying, and it's almost also then thinking about all of the Stronghold games as well, which sort of almost sort of followed on from Lord of the Realms, and I think that's why they were so popular as well, just from the from the games that then did follow the Lord of the Realms type games. All right, so just reading I'll just skim past a few of these. Sorry, guys. Yep, so Benelmade saying Galactic Civilizations 4 is easy to mod. Doing a Star Trek mod would be easy peasy. Well, no, not really. Not to do it properly. It means you'd have to build all the citizen portraits. You'd need to have and I don't even know if you've actually got access to the citizen mechanics. Like, so you wouldn't be able to change the way that they think or behave, like in terms of the different parameters that they actually then go do, like the diligence and so on and so forth. So citizens would be a problem to mod, to do a real good mod of Star Trek. You'd need to then also have a ship collection, not just individual ships. So I think there would be a lot to do it there. So in my opinion, it would be, to do it properly would actually take a fair amount of effort. Yeah, everything is moddable, says Battlemate. If citizens, I've tried to find how to mod citizens and I couldn't find it because I would love to just do that. That's sort of one of the things I would like to sort of test and see at some point. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to now do the marble run. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to get that one set up. So bear with me, guys. Now, we're not giving anything away. This is literally just for fun. Go into Nightbot. And we'll log in. Okay, so let's go to giveaways. We'll go to keyword and we'll just go grin, the word grin. So just type the word grin in and that will then, you'll be in the running. In fact, even if you just type anything in, I'm just going to put everyone in, even if you don't actually opt into the game. This is not going to be a, so if you comment at all, but the official word is grin. Winners are grinners, there we go, because that's all you're going to get. If you win today, you only get to grin. You don't get an actual code. So, anyway, I'll just wait for you guys to start to fill that one in. In the meantime, I'll just go and get everything else ready. Just open Sublime Text. Delete all those. And we'll just wait for you guys to... here we go. Joe's got green, but it doesn't matter, and Victor's got green as well. So wieners are greeners. There we go. So that's instead of winners are grinners. Okay, so we'll. So again, you're not going to win anything with this. This is just literally going to be a marble run, and we'll see who ends up getting the bragging rights. All right, so I'll just let it go for a little bit longer, and then I'll just pick it up. I'm about 20 seconds ahead of you guys, so if there's anyone else that does come in, we'll just grab them. So we'll go and get all the names through that side there. Control C. 27. Okay, we've got a few more there as well. Voodoo Dog's in. Slay Demi was in, I think. Okay, Charank was in. I'm just looking to see if there's anyone there that missed out. Eurosock was in as well. I think we've got everyone. Antonio is not in. So I'll just grab that one. Actually, Geno's is also not in. Okay, so we'll just go with, I'll just grab you two. And actually, Ricardo, are you in? No, you're not in either. God, I'm going to go and grab the name list yet again. Bear with me, guys. All right, we'll start again. There we go. There we go. I've got Drexy down there as well. He wasn't there before. Yep, so I think we've got everyone now. I've got Sketic. Yep, okay, that's fine. We'll just go Control C. Back across, and in we go then through there. So again, 32 names, that's fine. And there's no winners from this one. Put myself in there as well. So we've got 33 in total. And we'll just go to Find and Replace. Save that. All right, Marble Run it is, Marble time. So we'll open her up. So, Geno's, you're in. Yes, I did see your name in there. So I think everyone's in. That was 33, I think, wasn't it, that we actually had to get in the end. So good luck. So in about 2 hours, I'll be streaming over on Slytherin just to do a couple of hours of Shadow Empire. All right, let's go back into race settings. We're going to do Grand Prix. We're going to do 3 maps, and let's go to settings. I wish I knew more about what was going on. I'm just going to change this one to 33, and simulation. Settings, add names. We're going to clear the list and then open up marble names. Open, done, finish. Okay, so that should be everything we need to do. So good luck, guys. We'll get it going. I wish I knew how the actual point system worked in the game. I don't understand it. It doesn't show enough, because I was surprised with the way the points worked last week. But anyway, we'll see how we go. So now, what do we need to do in here? We've got simulation. Why can't I click on race? I'll click Grand Prix. There we go. Got it. Here we go, guys. So good luck, and we're away. Just follow them in as they go around and round. He's going to be the first one down the hole. Okay, we've got a few now that are coming through. So Mad Hat, Raven Desk, Drexy, that you're both out in front. Now, both of you know Mad Hat's made it straight through. If we just go back across into here, we've got Victor, Sorbicol, Mad Hat, Urasok, now sort of coming back down through to the other side. This is where we may have people jump out of where we actually are. Yeah, Mad Hat's now dropped off. Just see, oh, there we go. Oh, Reed has actually made it through to the other ones. Joe's gone. Sorbicol has gone as well. Here they come. Oh, some of them are missing and getting onto the step underneath there, which is not too bad. It looks like William actually missed this other one over through here. Antonio has made it in, I think. So we have Antonio, Joseph, A lot of people are now missing as well, so we've got a lot of people not finishing this particular race. We've only got 2 that have finished so far. 3. There's Drexy, came 3rd. Battle mode is gone. Slow Demi, how are we going? So the last one on the track. So will you make it 4th, 5th? Here we go. So 5th is gone. All right, and Tony, only 5 of you finished that one, so that was cool. So that was a interesting one. Just press escape, and we'll just see the final results there. So there's a lot of DNFs all the way through the actual list there, but we did get some points there for 4 of you. So Antonio, Joseph, Drexy, and Bubo. All right, next race, next map. So that was Fuel Survive. This is Procedural Raceway. I think we've played this one before as well. I think we've had this one. So we will start the race. And here we go. I don't know if this is one where people actually fall off much or not. Who's going to be the first one through? Looks like it's me in battle mode. There we go. And Sorbicol, Voodoo Dog, Antonio. Whoa! Maybe they do come off. Sorbicol's now hit the lead. Voodoo Dog. There's battle mode. So battle mode ended up a long way back. So it's just straight through with Voodoo Dog. So he's now hit the lead in a big way. Jamison and Matthew following. So he's coming down. What's coming up? In this instance, we just go back to the 2nd place and have a bit of a look from these guys here, where they're sort of where they're trying to catch up with Voodoo Dog. Oh, there's TNT. See if people blow that one up. Now everyone's missing the TNT. Now who's going to get through here? Matthew, Voodoo Dog looks to be through. Actually, a lot of people are through now. So a quick bit of a look up the top. Maybe go back to 3rd place. Sorbicol, Admiral following this one in as well. So Voodoo Dog out in front. No, Matthew out in front with Voodoo Dog. Voodoo Dog's now just taking the lead there. So just slightly out in front there. Get through this particular part of the thing. I think if I press F, it goes slow-mo. No, it doesn't. It must be T. Yeah, T is slow-mo. Okay, I'll try to remember that for if we see important things coming up. Now there's a big congestion back there. Here comes the others. So Voodoo Dog out in front, Matthew coming in, Admiral, Sorbicol, Michael, Charank, Joe Miller, coming into the last little bits of it. Now Voodoo Dog straight through. There goes Mad Redox. Must have hit one of the exploding drums. Voodoo Dog has been caught up in here. Will the others catch up? Matthew is coming through. And has got a great run through. Yes, there he goes. Gets exploded off the map. At least it makes it safe for everyone else coming through. So Joe Muller is now going to be the winner of this particular run, followed by Michael, followed by Reed as well. So we've got they're the top 3, and then the others will then sort of make their way through. So be a lot of finishes in this one here. But unfortunately, a few of the early people actually did hit those TNT barrels. So Connie's coming up last. Maybe get caught before makes it through. Yep, so Connie's gone. Derner is going to get caught as well. Maybe. Yes. Derner and Louise both failed in the end there. All right, so we'll see the final results there. So we had a lot of finishes in that particular one. Only a few didn't actually make it. It was funny, I've got to say, to see Matthew leading the race and then hitting that piece of TNT at the back end, or that dynamite barrel. So that worked out fairly well. So we've got Joe, Michael, Reed, Charank, Marco, Battle Mode. Yep, so anyway, a few of the names up through there. Okay, next race is the last race. So we just go forward. This is now the Raging Pin. No idea what this one is. All right, guys, good luck. So this is the final race. So through this one, this will sort people out a little bit. Okay, it looks like Michael and Joe are straight through. I do like those exploding things. Oh, there we go. Actually, Joe's gone. Skedic's gone. How are they falling off? A lot of people are falling off right here. Are they bouncing on things? Everyone's out of there now. It's maybe harder to get through than we think. So Bubo's straight through. Just watch this for a little while. See who actually makes it through. Matthew and Drexy. You know, it's actually Bubo's now fallen off. So there's something down in here that's causing issues. Let's have a look and see what's actually going on. Drexy's now out in front. Marco, Matthew. I'll just go back to third place and just watch a little bit from this edge. A little bit to sort of see what happens in here. See if we can pick as to why they actually are failing. So it's Marco. Oh, there we go. Drexy's now gone, I think. Or did Drexy make it back on? Drexy's still alive. But where did he go? Where did he go? Oh, there we go. We've now lost Jamison and Antonio. They're hitting those other things. And Michael has now gone down into... Michael's gone. So Urasok, actually Drexy's back in the lead apparently. Sorbicula's now gone as well. So Marco is looking like he's going to come down. Oh, here we go. This may or may not be good. Actually, that's not the final thing. There we go. Marco's straight up in the air and down into the bottom layer. Here comes Drexy and Matthew. And they will just sit in the middle there. Bang, up they go. So as we then go back through the next thing, so this is Drexy now coming back through a bit deeper. Marco's, it looks to be a fair way out in front. Actually, where is Marco? Can't actually see them anymore. Oh, there they are. Yeah, so actually they've finished already. So Marco, Drexy, Steve, Paul, Matthew, the others are still trying to make their way through that particular hole. A bit hard to see with the lighting there. So it looks like everyone that gets past that area does actually make it. So, I don't know who's going to win this one actually. This is a bit interesting. This one could be very, very close. There's Charank and Mad Hat. And who else we got up there through there? And me. Let's go back up. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so Marco is now the winner. We'll see the final results. So Lot didn't finish in that particular one as well. So only the top 10 in through that side. Okay, let's go and finish the Grand Prix. There's no other things we can do here, is there? It's like the points don't really seem to do anything in this one. It's results. I think that's the actual standing. So if we go to the finish of Grand Prix, that's a bit of a spoiler there. Bit of a spoiler. Okay, so third place is Marco. So Marco got third. Second place is Joe, and Antonio won the actual Grand Prix. So congratulations, Antonio. Unfortunately, no keys to give away today, but you do have bragging rights. Yeah, it's the winner of the of episode 73 in the Grand Prix for the Marble Run. Anyway, guys, I will leave it there. As I say, I'll be live streaming in about 2 hours' time over on the Slytherin channel on Twitch, so you can catch me there. And I'll be trying to upload those Shadow Empire videos maybe once every couple of days, I guess, and I'll intersperse it. Certainly when Gal Civ launches, I'll be doing a completely new series there. So I've got a few days before that one actually does launch. But looking forward to the launch of that one. And then later on down the track, there'll, of course, be a lot of Age of Wonders content. So I'm hoping I do get that game early, just so I can sort of then have a look at that one and see how we do go. Anyway, guys, going to leave it there. And thanks for watching. I will catch you next week, if not